I would guess that if they gave an award for the amount of miles driven by a reporter, Scott Conroy of Real Clear Politics just might win it for his coverage of Iowa.
That's right. He's here with us now for an up-close look, certainly at what he's seen on the ground. What's on the minds of Iowa voters ahead of tomorrow's caucuses? Good morning to you, Scott. Thanks for stopping by here. So what are you sensing? You know, Mitt Romney is slightly ahead in the polls, but there's this Santorum surge. Could Santorum win?
Yeah, I mean, over the last year of reporting here, even Iowans who don't necessarily support Rick Santorum, you always got the sense that they kind of wanted the guy to do well. He's been working harder than anyone else by far. And I think that if Iowans go to the polls tomorrow and they want to vote for someone who could potentially stop Mitt Romney, that appears to be Rick Santorum, at least for the time being. I think that it's not necessarily like Mike Huckabee. They're not falling in love with him right now. He's just the best alternative. He's peaking at the right time.
What about Sarah Palin? To those of you who don't know, I mean, I just got to ask this. You know, Scott was the CBS News reporter who was with Sarah Palin for so long, and you wrote a book about it, Sarah from Alaska. Suddenly, everybody's talking about Sarah Palin was going to run this time around, and then all of a sudden, she just wasn't there anymore.
It's strange. You know, I know that she actually did seriously think about it. She was having meetings with her top aides in Arizona, where she has a second home now. From what I'm told, she just realized or concluded in the end that, in her view, the system, as she put it, was sort of rigged against her. She didn't think that she had a real shot in the end. And of course, we've barely heard from her over the last a couple months. I mean, she's doing occasional Fox News hits, but she has not been out here in Iowa getting behind a candidate like a lot of people.
You don't, under any circumstances, expect that somehow she would reemerge here somewhere down the line?
It would take a pretty shocking emergence for that to happen. I think there is a group of people here, the diehards, that aren't willing to give up on it, that are encouraging people to caucus for her, but I haven't seen any real energy behind that.
You know, we've followed a lot of sort of the ups and downs in the polls, but I want to talk about sort of some of the substance. Mitt Romney has been late to the game here in Iowa. They're trying to squeak out a victory here. The other day on the campaign trail, he was asked about the DREAM Act, which is something that would allow children of illegal immigrants, if they graduate from high school, in order to get citizenship. He said he would veto that as president. Mike Huckabee actually supported the DREAM Act. Looking long term, what does this mean for the Republican nominee with their tough talk on immigration and particularly the DREAM Act? What does it mean for the Hispanic vote, which is the fastest growing part of the electorate? I
actually got a chance to sit down with Mitt Romney on his campaign bus a couple of days ago, and I tried to press him on this, and also just however the Republican nominee is going to, you know, get Hispanic voters. I saw a poll a couple weeks ago that showed Romney losing to Obama by 40% among Hispanics, and I tried to press him, you know, how are you going to change perceptions? States like Florida, Colorado, in a general election that are going to be crucial. And he just said, you know, he reverted to talking points, it seemed to me. We're not worried about polls right now. Hispanic voters care about the same issues that non-Hispanic voters do care about. It hadn't seemed like he'd really thought it out very well yet, and I think that's going to be a huge issue, as you're alluding to, in a general.
Do you have any idea in your own mind of how this thing is going to come out here? I can't figure out what's going to happen here.
Yeah. I could make something up and come up with a prediction.
Yeah, I mean, I think Iowa's important because it is first, but I'm not sure we're going to know any more about who's going to get the Republican nomination by the end of this week than we do right now.
Well, I will say that things have worked out sort of beyond the wildest dreams of the Romney campaign. I'm pretty sure over the last few months they never had a strategy session in Boston saying, how do we beat Rick Santorum and Ron Paul in Iowa? You know, that's not something that's come up in his meeting. So he's in pretty good shape, even if he doesn't win. If he's second, he's in great shape. If he's third, that's a little tougher, because then you can make the case that, look, he made this final push in the last couple weeks here and he finished in third place.
All right. Scott Conroy, great to have you. Thanks for being with us.
Bob.